Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. Today is the 31st of December 2023. It's safe to say that we are almost to the end of year 2023. Today we are going to be discussing your New Year resolution. What is your resolution for the new year? We can talk about anything. Tell us what's on your mind when it comes to the new year. What do you plan to do? And what kind of Liberia you want to see? What kind of person you want to be? Are you going to be the same person in 2023 going into 2024? So today is very, very exciting day. And today is New Year Eve. I know some area now, they're already in New Year. Yeah, some area around the world, they may be in New Year already. Well, yes, indeed, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining SKTV once again. You can go ahead and share the show. All right. Let's do that. Let's share the show, everybody. Let's share the show. Share the show, everybody. Very important to share the show. Let's do that right now. That is the best thing we can do right now. Share the show.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and that effort are rest. The person giving us the end of payment from them. So welcome my life with African.
A lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make you again SKTV venue. C'est ma chérie, tina ke ase ma yamu. Engi sano muni, emu aye yo. Engi lofa muni, emu aye yo.
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Sadia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Côte d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Sadia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Côte d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Dakar ya tumale, esta tiki, ena Dakar tosi wako ma ya tumale,
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, that time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise my best. The world with my life with us, yeah. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombay, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and that effort are rest. The person giving us the end of payment from them. So welcome my life with African.
A lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make you again SKTV venue. Sema cheni tina ke asema jamu. Enyi sano muni emu aye yo. Enyi lova mui emu aye yo.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle Rider, Lofa, and Grandmaster.
Ena dine ya tumale, ena salia ya tumale, ena kwanagli ya tumale, ena kodubwa ya tumale, ena dine ya tumale, ena salia ya tumale, ena kwanagli ya tumale, ena kodubwa ya tumale, ena dapagi ya tumale, esta tiki, ena dapagi ya tosi wako ma ya tumale,
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle Rider, Lopa, and Grandmaster.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to serve. The passion, the time, and the efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River South, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Monserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Punk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa.
All right, folks, we encourage everybody to share the show. If you have done so, thank you. If you haven't do it, please go ahead and share the show. It's very, very important. So yes, what is your New Year resolution? What is your New Year resolution? What do you intend to do? What's going on? So let me take this time to recognize a few of you, not most of those people that have written something. Mustafa Balo, welcome to SKTV. Joseph Benda, welcome. Toby Wilson, welcome to SKTV. George Young, welcome to SKTV. And I want to say thank you to all of you that have shared the show. If you haven't done so, please go ahead and do it. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling very positive. I'm feeling very positive and upbeat about the new year. I'm very hopeful. Very, very hopeful. I'm very positive. I believe Liberia is going to be a different Liberia. My only concern is about our mindset as to who we are as Liberians. Why are we so different from everybody? Why is it that everybody else do things differently? Hold on. Somebody just send me some kind of information. Oh, so yeah, somebody just shared some information with me that that the current the president-elect Joseph Nima Boakai donated an equivalent of 52,000 United States dollars with 200 bags of rice to the victim of that tragedy in Wela, the tanker explosion victims. So somebody want to know, where is he getting the money from? And politics are, I think that's the good thing for he to actually share with the Liberian people, especially people who are facing some challenges, especially what happened. But it's also fair to know where he's getting the money from, who is giving him that money, because of the fear of corruption and quid pro quo and pay for play, pay to play, however you call it. It's important that we are transparent about what we do. You know, they said 10 million, right? They said 10 million Liberian dollar and 200 bag of rice. That is Joseph Boakai donating 52,000. Just yesterday, the man who was on the payroll of Standard Witherspoon, $3,000 a month, he just got elected. He's not even in office yet. The man who told the Liberian people that he was surviving on the loan. Where is he getting that money from? Is this his own money? If it is Joseph Boakai's own money, then Joseph Boakai misled the people to say he's living on loan. He doesn't have money. And if it's not his own money, where is he getting the money from? I hope Joseph Boakai people, I'm not talking about the small one that can be crossing people. I'm talking about the real inner cycle, can come clean, can come up and help the Liberian people understand as to where that money is coming from. It's very important. It's called transparency. It is called accountability. It's important. It's a fair question. I mean, just last week or 2 weeks ago, the man was laying down in the hospital, helpless. Now the man is, recovering. The man is in the country, but yet spending that much of money. It's a good thing to do it, but it must come with transparency. It must come with some level of clarity so that Liberian people can know that this man is a good man, is spending his own money, or somebody is giving him the money, where the money is coming from. That's very important. Because you don't want the situation where Joseph Boakai is taking money from people that may influence his decision making because of money. You don't want the situation where Joseph Boakai taking money from people that are in the process of buying position. So it's very, very important. Let's have a fair argument. Let's have a, open-minded argument in terms of transparency. So let's not, pretend as if mentioning Joseph Boakai is a crime. No. And also, let's not think that every time you mention Joseph Boakai, it means that is a negative. No. These are things that must be discussed. But again, wanted to put that out there. So I was talking about the New Year resolution. I want to see a better Liberia. I want to see a changed Liberia. I want to see Liberians with different mindset. But part of my New Year resolution, I want to make sure that SKTV get our own radio station in Liberia come 2024. Next year. And this just starts tomorrow. After midnight today, when our end here will be midnight. Look at the other one, you know. So these are the kind of things I'm talking about. So because you ask question, first the mindset, it means that you don't like Joseph Boakai. It means that you want to badmouth Joseph Boakai. It means that you worry about Joseph Boakai. No, we worry about our country. We care about Liberia. Whoever going to lead Liberia, whoever going to be leading Liberia should be under our political microscope to make sure they do the right thing. Because the survival of our country is at stake. We care about our country. If you don't, that is the mindset that I'm talking about. I want to see that change. We should not carry those kind of negative mindset, negative feeling, or don't care attitude with us in 2024. Oh, asking question about Joseph Boakai, where he's getting the money from. You say I should worry, keep worrying. No, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about Joseph Boakai. I'm worried about my country. I'm worried that our country should not be turned over to another group of vampires that are ready to exploit our alienation. Liberia is a sick country. There are a lot of sick people that cannot rationalize anything. They are so engulfed in that false sense of entitlement that nobody can touch them, nobody can talk about them, nobody can talk to them, nobody can question them. They are so delusional to the extent that they feel like they own everybody. So nobody should talk. What kind of mindset should stay right here in 2023? Carry positive mindset. Be open-minded. Be ready to answer questions. Be ready to ask tough questions. And be ready to make friends. Be ready to be friends with people even in your disagreement. Be ready to be, on different sides of political aisles without being enemy. Be ready to be a wife and a husband that can support different political parties outside of their personal relationship without affecting it. Be ready to at least reset your mind that, even if we disagree, we are still friends. We're not enemies. This is the kind of mindset we are talking about. You say you should keep worrying. You should be worried. You should be worried about the well-being of your country. Your worry should not only be about praise singing for Joseph Boakai. Your worry should not only be about being a follower of Joseph Boakai. No. Be a Liberian. Be a Liberian who cares about his country. A Liberian who wants to see a better Liberia. A Liberian who wants to see the country moving forward. Not a bunch of group thinkers or tribalists or sectionalists who just wants to see their country producing president, who wants to feel proud to say, you know what, we have the presidency. No, that's not what we're talking about here. A mindset that will incorporate the entire country to put Liberia first. I'm worried. I don't even know how we got to this place. Because if you said a war, there was a war in Sierra Leone. There was even, grave It was bad. People's arms, were amputated. People were killed in so many ways in Sierra Leone. But the mindset that if you don't support Peter or Paul, that means you don't love Liberia. We got to leave those mindset right here, right now, going into the new year. You got to be open-minded to ask tough questions and be ready. And be ready. To accommodate everybody. Sometimes it hurts when I listen to people saying, oh, in any other country, that will not happen, only in Liberia. Why Liberia? Don't you feel insulted when somebody say that? Oh, Liberian people, Liberian, we're different people there. How come? And it's not even in a positive way. When somebody say, don't worry, man, that Liberian people, we Liberian, we're different. Different like how? Somebody said they asked a question. What was the question again? Okay, yeah. The person, okay, let me give you a little bit of attention. So when I started, worrying about Liberia, the very day I became human being, the very day I got a word of myself, the very day I start to think about good things, the very day I try to, I begin to distinguish wrongs and right. The very day I decided, what, we have to collectively right the wrongs. That's the day I started worrying. And the very day I started hearing some of the things you are saying right now, I started to worry about my country. As to what kind of people are we? How can a grown-up can just talk loosely without thinking? The day I heard Liberians saying, you killed my mom, you killed my pa, I started to get worried. The day I heard Liberians saying, Bo, you don't know Bo will vote for you, I started to get worried. When I saw Liberian grown men and women worshiping their leaders, I started to get worried. So if you ask me when, that was a long time ago, maybe before you were born. I don't know your age. But the minute I start to understand life, I start to understand what is wrong and what is right, the minute I start to distinguish good thing and bad thing, the minute I recognize the fact that when you are honest, when you are honest and you do what is right, everybody benefits. The minute when I got to understand that when you do the right thing, everybody benefits. And I know when you do the wrong thing, everyone, is victimized. The wrongs of yesterday are still affecting Liberians today, even some of you that were not born. In fact, some Liberians who were traumatized by the war, up to this point, they are still traumatized. That is the bad thing about doing bad things. So when you ask me when you started getting worried, I started getting worried about Liberia when I became human being, a rational person, when I became somebody who can somehow engage in critical thinking, reading between the lines, being able to understand good from bad, That's when I started to get worried. Because we Liberians, we behave different. And we agree to that as well. That is the worst thing. That's the irony about it. Even though we know those things that we are doing is a bad thing to do, those things are bad things to do, but you still feel like it's okay. It's okay, not only because it's right, we say it's okay because we are Liberian. So accepting the fact that we are different kind of human being from other people, not even in a positive way. Negatively, you're accepting that you are a bad person. Nobody should be doing that. We should be emulating the good example of other people. But where every bad thing, when you say, well, you know, like bro, now, that mindset, we must eradicate those kinds of mindset. It takes you nowhere. That's why Liberia, being one of the oldest, if not the oldest, independent country in Africa, that's why we are still backward. Because of those mindset. In fact, in Liberia, we Liberians believe that we are better than certain people, that we know better than certain people, but yet those people are progressing than us. For example, in the minds of so many Liberians, especially the ones living in Liberia, thinking that they're better than Guinea. But at the same time, Liberians, business people got to go to Guinea, Conakry to buy stuff to come and sell it exorbitantly in Liberia. Liberian men will even laugh at Sierra Leonean, thinking that they know better or they can do better than Sierra Leone. That's our mindset. We're better than certain people. We know better than certain people. But people don't care about their country more than us. There was a war in Liberia. I mean, there was a war in Liberia. There was a war in Sierra Leone. There was a war in Ivory Coast. Only in Liberia, people took copper wires, the Cambo. They took down homes to take zinc and take it to the other country to go sell it. We're better than Guinea, we say in our mind, but we the one that looted our entire country. Take it to Guinea, Ivory Coast, and Sierra Leone. I never saw Sierra Leonean looting their country, taking it to Guinea. I've never saw Sierra Leonean, looting their country and taking it to Liberia. Only in Liberia. There was a war in Sierra Leone. They were very happy when the perpetrators were being prosecuted. The victim, they were happy. But only in Liberia, you can hear that Charles Taylor, who was the cause of all the mayhem and carnage in Liberia, is the most popular person in the country. Only in Liberia, you hear those kinds of things. Think about this. When Foday Sankoh was apprehended, that Foday Sankoh is going to, to court to be prosecuted. Sierra Leonean all around the world. In Sierra Leone, they were happy. But up to today's date, in Liberia, you will listen to Liberians telling you that some of the so-called leaders in Liberia are taking directive from Charles Taylor in jail. Hey God. What did we do to deserve those kinds of mindset? Somebody who was the cause to destroy the country, even though one person did it, but he was in the vanguard of the whole thing. But Charles Taylor is still loved and popular among Liberians. People are saying that even if Charles Taylor comes back today, we will vote for him. If Charles Taylor comes back today, he will win the election. If Charles Taylor comes back today, he can. He's the most popular person in Liberia. Why? Think about this. The year Prince Johnson was elected for the first time, he was re-elected for the first time. He was re-elected along with who? Joe Howard Taylor. All the other senators that were on the ballot that time, they were all sent back. Prince Johnson and Joe Howard Taylor were re-elected. Because why? Because they are associated with some kind of bad thing. So Liberians will gravitate towards bad people. We embrace bad people. We appreciate bad people. We reward bad people. That's why everybody want to be bad. Everybody want to be disrespectful. Everybody want to be insulting. Because they feel like Liberian people gravitate towards people who behave in a certain way. It's like, why do we have to agree, in fact, that we are different kind of animals? Why do we have to agree with that? That kind of mindset should remain right here in 2023. Let's change our mindset. Let's be good human beings. Let's be proud of those people who behave right. Let's appreciate and be proud of people who are using their intellect, the common sense, to do things. Let's not be celebrating bad people. Imagine in Liberia, we say, you know, this is Liberia now. What's wrong with us? What is wrong? What is bad about being Liberian? Why should we subject ourselves? Why should we minimize ourselves? When you say you know that we Liberian, we're different from all other human beings, you know it means that we are reducing or minimizing our own value, that we are projecting ourselves as a less than human. Why are we different from everybody else? Why should we be different from everybody else? It's the mindset. So my resolution is for us to change our mindset. Believing that we Liberian people, we are good people. We have smart, intelligent people. We are not a bunch of stupid people. And the people then who can do those things, then they are not in majority. People who say you kill my mama, you kill my papa, they are not in majority. But that negative connotation is affecting all of us. See, these people then I don't even know who kind of human being they are. Think about this. Just end the election 2023. People that were sanctioned were the hero. Think about that. People that were sanctioned, they were hero. You got elected overwhelmingly simply because he was sanctioned. Betwawe got elected because he was sanctioned. Jefferson Kojo was celebrated. They put him on their shoulder to take him around simply because he is sanctioned. And I can guarantee you, next election, if Jefferson Kojo runs for anything, he will win it. Prince Johnson being under sanction. But he's the longest serving senator in the history of Liberia. Prince Johnson, who killed human being on camera. Prince Johnson, if Prince Johnson runs today for Senate, for president, And he runs with people like, for example, Amara Kone. Prince Johnson will win it. Not because Prince Johnson is good, but because the mindset of Liberians. So I don't know what is going on with with us, but I'm hoping that we will leave those negative mindset here in 2023. Let me see here. Charles, oh, that Christmas light hard today. Oh, hey, we're not hearing you though.
That 2024, you know, bless God, I'm going to the new year.
So what is your New Year resolution?
My biggest resolution. Let me say good evening to all of our SKTV family, and we crossing over with the famous statement: Liberian women are the most beautiful women. Liberian people remains the most important people on earth. SKTV, I want God to really open doors that SKTV have our own radio and TV station, because SKTV have a lot to bring to the Liberian people, to the society, especially when it comes to information dissemination, factual information dissemination. So that is an honest resolution, apart from other personal resolution, but that is part of my resolution for 2024. And SKTV should explode as compared to CNN, BBC, and Al Jazeera and other news alike, global news alike.
Amen to that. So, what about the resolution to change our mindset from thinking that okay, we are Liberian, so we are so, for example, we are so cheap. We are Liberian because of that. We are so disoriented. We are Liberian because of that. We don't think outside the box. We are Liberian because of that. We are one-dimensional thinkers. Like people kind of minimize Liberians, thinking that because we are Liberian, everything is okay with us. Everything is possible with us. Other people can say, you know what, this one is not possible. It can't happen. But you say, but they will say again, but Liberia, everything is possible. Those kind of mindset, and not only positive mindset, we're talking about that in a negative way, thinking that because we are Liberians, we are susceptible to anything for that matter. Everything can happen, and we can do anything. We can accept everything. How do we graduate from those kinds of mindset?
Chief, I think the thing is, our people, we need to start accepting what the reality is. And I think one of the reasons these things are happening in all Liberians is because for far too long, one, illiteracy is one of the problems that's hampering our country. Two, because it all blend with education. Liberia, the mindsets of the people need to be upgraded. Because the thing is, if Liberian starts to take education very importantly, people start to upgrade in their mind. There are a lot of our people who do not even take education serious. And the people who should be the one, creating an avenue. In fact, we do not even have an enabling environment when it comes to education, conducive one. Chief, there are just few Liberians who travel, other Liberians who live outside Liberia, and who think outside the box, or who live here and think outside the box. But majority of our people are not accessible to quality education. And there are a few group of people who are subject or stagnate our people to not having quality education. Subject our people or stagnate them to not having a quality education. Because the thing is, Chief, if you are educated, if you start to read different things, you learn different things. Education is in different ways. We have social education, we have academic education. Even when it comes to the social aspect, there are a lot of Liberians who are educated socially to basic things, basic phenomena of life. So one of the ways is our people need to invest more in the education sector for a lot of young people, because The next generation is the one that continue to frustrate Liberia, especially the younger generation are the ones, because they allow themselves to be used over and over and over again until they get old in it. And the younger ones who come after them learn the same thing. So nothing is changing. So the mindsets of the people have to be upgraded for Liberia to move forward. And we anticipate a new government that will help to do that as well. We anticipate a new government. We anticipate new government. We anticipate a new government to invest more in the educational system, and Liberians have to start accepting what reality is. Chief, in Liberia now, the abnormal thing has become the normal thing, and the normal thing has become the abnormal thing. In Liberia, people believe that blowing the traffic light is the right way. When you go and talk, Liberians will come at you and start telling you, you want to, you know, or when you travel. I mean, like, what kind of mindset is that? That means the people is used to doing the wrong thing. They see it as the right thing, and the right thing has become the wrong thing. So we anticipate that the new government put in system that will mold the minds of the younger people, especially the younger generation. Why am I focusing on the younger generation? Because the younger people are the next generation. They are the people. They are in majority. The elderly people are already going.
And I think I'm looking at it from different angle, and that is Liberia's problem is not only classroom education problem. I think Liberia's problem, for the most part, we have so much hate in our heart for each other. So that covers everything. Most of the people who are perpetrators of the heinous crime in Liberia are not the less educated ones. Most of the people who are corrupt to the core, who continues to carry the country backward, are not the less educated ones. It seems like the educated ones that are privileged to get to power are the ones taking advantage of the illiteracy rate of our country. They want the stupid people to remain stupid. They want the uneducated to remain uneducated. They want the poor people to remain poor so that they can use them. That's the problem. That is the problem. The Liberian problem when it comes to education is not merely classroom education. In fact, to tell you, they cannot make people who are in the universities, who are going to school. University is the highest learning for any common people or for any regular people. From kindergarten to primary and college and high school and this and that. Once you are in the university, people expect you to know better. But some of the stupid behavior are coming from people that you think supposed to be educated. In fact, just look at it. They just ended election. Look at people in their writings. People that were seen in Liberia as advocates expose themselves that they were not just advocates. Their advocacy was not based on what is in it for Liberia. It was not based on only one quest to see a better Liberia. It was all about themselves. They were acting the way they were acting, behaving that they are advocate for Liberia, but they were not. Because they were just against certain people. It was just about hate. Because if you are advocating, you will always advocate for the right thing. You will always advocate for a better thing. But advocating against one bad thing and then embracing another bad thing, that is not advocacy. That is why during the election, when people said, oh, let's get together, this whole thing here is about getting rid of George Weah. Every time those expressions were made, we said, no, this is not just about getting rid of George Weah. Getting rid of one bad person and embracing another bad person, you're not changing anything. Imagine things that they say were bad, but they are good under somebody else. Imagine right after George Weah election, people that were advocating for War and Economic Crimes Code, some of whom travel in America here. That's what I'm telling you. It's not about traveling. It's not about classroom education. It's not about degree. It's about hate, envy, anger, and deception. People that were traveling from place to place, going to Washington, D.C., going to New York, calling for establishment of War and Economic Crimes Code. Those were the ones dancing with the likes of Prince Johnson, Milton Bly, and other killers. They don't want to hear the idea of War and Economic Crimes Code anymore. But then they call themselves advocates. You see, there were other people who are genuine people. But most of them, they were in it because they couldn't stomach the fact that George Weah is a president. They feel like George Weah should not have been president at all. They feel insulted because it was not them or it's not their person. So because of that, they develop so much hate and anger. They want to do anything or everything just to make sure George Weah fails. They may does not deserve to be president. So they may got to move. They may got to go. So they kind of develop that mindset, making people to believe that changing Liberia only takes removing, George Weah. Then Liberia will automatically change. No. So it was not about advocacy. It was about their hate for George Weah and the CDC. Because once you say this year it shouldn't be about anything. It should just be about, removing George Weah. Once you develop that mindset, it means that you have nothing for Liberia. Your only quest is you hate George Weah. You don't want to see George Weah in power, so you just want anything. So I agree with you. Illiteracy is a part of it, but the major driving factor is so much hate, jealousy for each other. Even some people that could support SKTV, but because they hate you, because they jealous you, because they envy you, when they see you now, so Saros and all now part of SKTV, Saros then the one that are, analyzing on SKTV, speaking on national issue. Just because of that, they will hate SKTV with no crime committed by SKTV or no fault of coming from me or Steve or anybody else associated with SKTV, but simply because somebody don't like Saros, when they see Saros on SKTV, they hate SKTV because of that. Those are the kind of mindset that I don't like to see. Somebody will hate SKTV now because they don't like Sekou. SKTV doing all the good things, but because Sekou, they don't like Sekou, so they don't want to see any good thing out of SKTV. Some people stop watching SKTV because they told me, oh, Steve, so the way Steve can talk, the way Steve can do this, Steve is arrogant, he did, he that, because so long you got that ball on your show, we will not watch the show. You can't imagine, forgetting about the bigger picture as to what the show is bringing, the positive part of the show, the information, the new information dissemination, the news we bring, the education we bring to the people. They will forget about that and focus on the personal anger and hate for somebody. Some people refuse to support Alexander Cummings, not because they didn't believe in Alexander Cummings, not because they didn't believe in his ideology or his policy prescriptions, but simply because certain person, somebody told me and say, I will not support Alexander Cummings just because he has Cindy. I said, why? Because the way the woman can talk. What that one got to do with Alex Cummings? You see that? Somebody called me and said, I will not support Cummings because Muna Fahad. I said, why? And Muna Fahad running behind Joseph Boakai today. But you say you can't support Cummings because of Muna Fahad. You see the kind of thing? So those are the kind of mindset I want us to get rid of. Somebody said they can't support Joseph Boakai. Not because Joseph Boakai is not capable, not because Joseph Boakai is sick or Joseph Boakai, but they can't support Joseph Boakai because Joseph Boakai associates himself with Bernard Ure, with Costa. So because of that, no matter what, there's no way they can follow Joseph Boakai. So I think we should make our decision based on merit. So my question to you, Saros, how many Liberians do you think are willing to see things differently, to judge people by the content of their character, but not guilt by association? How many people are willing to do that? How many Liberians are willing to support SKTV, even if they disagree with some of the things we do, some of the statements we make, but yet they will say, you know what, the bigger picture is these people, they are one of the most trusted, integrity, and honest platform. They criticize everybody. They attack everybody. They go after anybody who could do wrong, and they support anybody who will do right. You know what? Even though I disagree with some of their stuff, but because of the level of integrity, honesty, and truthfulness they bring to the discourse, we will support them. How many people can really develop that kind of mindset?
So, Mr. Cannon, then I agreed with all of what you said. So, but then it back down to education. So, Mr. Cannon, you see, from doing the campaign, I always made a statement. I said, there is this political cloud. There is the clique in Liberia who believe to be the quote-unquote educated people. And for this reason, they've made a very small cycle, Mr. Cannon. And they make this small cycle to subject even the ones who will try to think outside the box. They want to suppress you. They will suppress you financially, educationally, opportunity-wise, so you can have no other option but to succumb to them. And why I say education is this? Because if people, Mr. Cannon, why do you think? I agree, hate is part of it. Liberian, we hate one another. That's one of the things. By the grace of God, I've lived out of Liberia for years. I saw what patriotism is in other countries. But Liberians, one of our major problems is the hate that we have for one another. I don't know for what reason, but Liberians just hate one another. But again, Mr. Cannon, it bogged down to education, now to the new generation. if this new generation have a quality educational system, like I said, education is varied. We have social education, we have academic. Mr. Cannon, when it comes to the social aspect, where seminars are whole, that if these seminars and people are being taught, that I can have problem with Mr. Cannon, but I can also agree with Mr. Cannon on his ideas. This is another form of education. The minds of the people will start to open. But Mr. Cannon, I will tell you, if you ask me such a question, how many Liberians will still want to come on SKTV and watch SKTV, even if they disagree with Mr. Cannon, or even if they don't like Cyrus, or they don't like Steve or President Monk, but because SKTV is credible, or because SKTV bring out credible information, or independent in thoughts, Chief, I will tell you, will not be counting many Liberians, because even people who live in America, you expect to even think outside the box. Then that's where we come to the hate part. They know that SKTV is saying the truth. They know that SKTV is credible and independent, but they will not want to support SKTV only because SKTV speak truth about people that they are very close to. And because of that, when it comes to the educational aspect, Mr. Cannon, now they infuse the minds of the majority who are illiterate, the minds of the majority who are illiterate. They infuse their minds with so much hate as well. Because, Mr. Cannon, if Liberia is seminars at home where young people can sit on a table, where young people can go in the hall, they can be taught social education, that I can even disagree with you, but your thoughts can make sense and it can help me. I can disagree with SKTV, but SKTV bring credible information to the Liberian people that will help and enlighten the minds of other people. For this reason, I can still watch SKTV. Mr. Cannon, we will have a prosperous Liberia. But if you ask me that question, I will tell you we'll not have too many Liberians like that. And I will tell you the generation is sad to say it, Mr. Cannon, but I'm afraid to say it. But I have to say it, that Liberia is not moving anywhere anytime soon with that kind of mindset. Because until maybe the new government can't reconcile, the new government has so much work to do. So much work to do if they really come on a matter of absolute change, if they really come on a matter of making Liberia a better place, then they can start with reconciliation. They can start with seminars. If they come with honesty, with genuity to the table to actually liberate Liberia, they can start with this kind of seminars, upgrade the education system, changing the minds of the people and making them to understand that we have a Liberia. Mr. Cannon, you know, let me say this. There are a lot of people today that I talk to in America, and you are a living witness. Let me use you as a witness. When I was using the Henry Petro Costa Pikin, there are several occasions we had disagreement. Even Steve, Steve and myself, we disagree. Emery, Maya Cynic Mountain, but not a day that we went bitter. I always told them, I said, we have a one Liberia. The common denominator in our country is Liberia. It's the mindset that I developed. How many young people that develop the mindset? I disagree with you on several occasions when we're hearing Costa Pikin. But when you and Costa having your own personal thing, not a day I ever come out in public, rendering, profanity, using profane language. Not a day inventives. Why? Because of the mindset. How many people do we have in our society that have the mindset? So it all back down to education, Chief. Education is varied. It's not just in one segment, but Mr. Cannon, again, they hate. But again, people need to educate people that you can't hate another man because of his opinion, because every man will always have the right. This is why we have different religion. This is the reason we have different tribes, and nobody choose where to go. So yeah, Chief, it all back down to education. But if you ask me that question, I will tell you that we don't have too many Liberian, Chief, because the hate is too much, the illiteracy is too much, and we have one small group of people who enjoying that, they benefiting at the expense of the kind of evil acts. So for this reason, they don't want a larger society. Mr. Cannon, even in Liberia, if you have big brothers, they all want you to praise sing them. before they stretch hands. That is the mentality that we have in our country. If you can press think, if you can do sycophanted, you can do this, you can be a sycophant. You can have the benefit, the absolute benefit. You're supposed to benefit from them. It's sad. So for this reason, they will not want the younger ones to be educated. They not want the younger one minds to be enlightened. They don't want the younger ones, like other people who are coming after them to know what the reality is, because they benefit and they enjoy at the expense of the ignorance of the people and the expense of the illiteracies of the people. So Chief, it's sad, but I know God will take us there one day. So over to you.
Thank you, Saros. Let me say this to our people. We're going to be opening the line soon. But before we do, a few things that I want you to understand. Many of our people, they don't understand politics. But they all want to be participating in politics, and they all want to be visible. They want to be considered. They want people to actually acknowledge them. Some of them, they take politics very personal. When you disagree with them, automatically you are an enemy to them. If you disagree with their political leader or their political ideology, then you are a bad person. You deserve nothing good. Education in any form is important. Education with a classroom, social, economy, whatever it is, education is good. But our problem is beyond mere classroom education. The mindset, to change the people's mindset, it goes beyond one particular government. This government that is coming, they have no capacity. They are unable to change the mindset of the Liberian people. First of all, those who are thinking that Joseph Boakai is supposed to be president, they voted for him. If you look at it, whole ratio, you look at the percentage of Liberians, maybe about 30% of Liberians, maybe roughly about 30% of Liberians that voted for Joseph Boakai. So what's wrong? Where is the other 70% of Liberians? 800,000 people voted for Joseph Boakai. Both first and second round, the same people. Joseph Boakai does not have a mandate. So those that are with him, it's never going to be augmented. It's going to be reduced. Because why? The 70% that didn't want any of those people, they are not going to, they're not going to do anything that will embrace, that will be embraced by Liberian people. Liberian people gravitate towards Joseph Boakai simply because Joseph Boakai is doing X, Y, and Z. The support is going to diminish. And the reason for that, Joseph Boakai's supporters will decline, just as it happened to George Weah. The hate, the opposition will grow because they're not going to be able to satisfy all their supporters. Majority of them will be happy regardless, but there will be some of them that will never support Joseph Boakai after the appointments, after the first 6 months, after the 1 year term, 1 year within their term. Some of them will never go back to support Joseph Boakai no more, Unity Party. They will be disenfranchised. they will be the fierce opposition to Joseph Boakai, just as you saw it with Unity with CDC. But there are people also that never left Joseph Boakai, that didn't believe in Joseph Boakai, that believe that Joseph Boakai is now a leader. Nobody will never come back to support Joseph Boakai. So there's no amount of education that you can provide to change those people's mind. So our mindset, only us can help ourselves change those kind of mindset. Once we can graduate from hate, from envy and jealousy, and just love each other. When politics come, we play politics, we finish whether we go home, wherever we go by their business, we still love each other, we still love our country, then we'll have a different country. But as long as we continue to hate, to develop so much hate for each other, do you know how many people been writing in my inbox, threatening me, you will die, you for Joseph Boakai, you will die, you pray for, even when you bring news about Joseph Boakai, they say you praying for Joseph Boakai to die. So ensure the mindset of Liberians, first to demonize ourselves, to minimize ourselves, that every bad thing we say is okay because we are Liberian. Oh yeah, they think, yeah, you know, it can't happen anywhere about Liberia, so it will happen in Liberia. Those kinds of mindset should be eradicated. So 2023 was a good year, but let's try to do away with the negative things, all the negative things, and then the positive one will carry with us into 2024 and develop new mindset about ourselves, believing that Liberian people are good people who can do the right thing, who can do good things. We don't only celebrate bad people. We don't only gravitate towards bad things or negative people or negative mindset. I think we can get somewhere. Brother Amon, welcome, my man. What is your resolution for the new year?
What's up, guys, and what's up to the listening audience? As usual,
Yeah, my man, we're doing good.
we are a few hours away into the new year.
My man, your
And
voice going in and out.
you hear me?
Yeah, much better.
Yep. I said we are a few hours into the new year, and we hope for the best. But I always tell people hope is not a strategy. Success or failure can be predictable. You can hope, but then there's something called reality. Like you said, there's no perfect society in this world, but our society is so disjointed. We are so negative. We are so opposing that for you to get a consensus amongst Liberians is a very, very tough thing. You put 20 Liberians in a room to come up with an idea, you get 20 different ideas. Even if some come to the realization that someone else's idea could be a plus to the group, they will still oppose it. So in as much as I want to seem optimistic, I just know the reality is there. When the honeymoon is over, especially for the incoming administration, those challenges will still be there. There are people that voted for Joseph Boakai, there are people that voted against Joseph Boakai, and there are people that will never vote for Joseph Boakai because they believe he's now a leader. Anyway, so, but my prayer and hope is he can do the best thing for the Liberian people and put some of us to shame. People that support the other candidates after doing our own assessment. And we will want for people that supported him to get the benefit of the doubt, because, you know, sometimes they get something they got this thing about your perception. You can think about something in a particular way, but then the reality will come and kick in. So maybe he could prove us wrong, or we could be vindicated. But when the honeymoon is over, we hope for the best, and we just want for the country to do better. That's just what it is. The reason we share opposing view in politics is not because we hate a party or we hate a candidate. We just feel there is somebody else who is better to do the job. We just have opposing view. It's nothing more to it. So you cannot come here when SKTV reporting the news on Joseph Boakai. Oh, you want for the man to die? Nobody wants Joseph Boakai dead. Everybody on this platform wants Joseph Boakai living to his full potential until God himself is ready to keep taking from this planet. That's just why it is. At the end of the day, it's about the country. We don't see party politics. We don't see political leader. We see country first. So it's easy to form an opinion in terms of how you analyze issue or how you see the picture. But at the end of the day, it's all about Liberia, and we hope that the Liberian people get what they voted for, I saw the president elect today driving through. I don't know if it was red light or whatsoever. You know, it's a honeymoon, the expectation are high. The Liberian people expect more, something far better than the we are administration. So we expect them to react that way, and we hope it continue, most especially when it comes to accountability. So my fervent hope and prayer for Liberia is that we get something better than the previous regime. That's my ultimate prayer, that Joseph Boakai do something better than what Georgia, because for Georgia it was just a train wreck and was one of the biggest mistakes ever, and that's just why it is.
All right.
Hello?
So yeah, do you think the mindset of Liberian, accepting that all the negative things belong to us and all the negative mindset is about us? Anything you say, people say, what, that's the right thing to do, but we Liberian now. Accepting that we are different kind of animals, we different kind of people. You think we can get rid of those kind of mindset? To say, we are better than this. Let's compare, ourselves, to other good countries, and let's somehow emulate the good example of America, not just negative things. You think we can make that adjustment? You think it's possible that maybe 2024 we bring a different mindset that can make us to change, from negative to positive? Do you see that possibility, Brazilian Monk?
Sekou, not in my lifetime, I don't see that possibility. Like I said, you can be optimistic all you want, but there's something called reality that will set in. Look, you don't expect something fundamental to change in one election cycle or one generation. That's not just how it works. You see, if you look at other societies and the way people do things, they did it over and over until it was ingrained in their subconscious mind. They tell you something about the subconscious mind is that things that you do without thinking about it, it's just part of you, it's like second nature. So the way people think Liberia is going to change over one election cycle, that would never ever happen. We are people who are very toxic, we are very divisive. So for you to think that some administration or some leader is going to fundamentally change the way business is done, that's a lie, that's fantasy. I know maybe the most we can do for Liberia is to start planting some seeds for the future, the younger generation, the education, the ethics, the training, the way how we do things. Maybe 15, 20 years from now, the next generation of Liberian could do something. But for my generation in this day and age, no, nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same 06 and 7. It's not going to change. But we can do something to change it. Maybe a leader could come, we let an incorporative leader that will take opposing view, bring opposition on board. Maybe it will try to move it a bit, but it won't fundamentally change our way of doing things. We are just toxic people. And it doesn't matter whether those back home or people overseas, it's just the same old thing. We just never gravitate to things that are positive. Anything that is positive that bring about better result, somebody will be there to tear it apart. And people think that it's only limited to few people, whether it's in the diaspora or people, but no, it's just part of our DNA as Liberian. We never grew up in a cohesive society where we can gravitate around a particular issue for a common goal. No, it never ever happened. That is why for opposition to even work in the country, it just cannot be. Because look, Sekou, they said leadership will not reveal who you are. It doesn't change you. Tell a marriage. You marry a bad person, whether you put a ring on their finger or not, they will still become bad. Whether that 20 years from now, 15 years from now, it's the same thing with Liberia. Our politics and our lifestyle as a whole. Yeah, you got few people with a positive mindset that want the best, but the people with the opposing view, they are so overwhelming that they will always overpower those that want the best for the country. That's just how it is. And it's not going to change. But like I said, there are possibilities that great leadership could try to move the ball forward, and we can start planting seeds for the future in terms of a generational shift so that Liberians moving forward can do things. We can emulate other countries. So what makes you think Ghanaians, they are so nationalistic? Look at a typical Ghana man. No breath I tell you that Ghana is the best country in the world. He skipped country to America, he skipped country to Germany, where people can have 3 square meals per day. But he looking at you, even though in the midst of hunger, he's still telling that they are the best on the planet. How you think that happened? It wasn't a one-day thing. It wasn't a 10-year thing. It was a generational thing. It was a societal thing. That's how they think. That's how
exactly. So it's about the mind. It's about the mindset, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They said the way you think, it determines the way how you feel, and the way how you feel determines the way how you act. Everything starts from the mind. Everything that becomes reality in life, it was once a thought. Everything comes from your mindset and your thought process. That's it.
So, Taurus, before we go to the line to start taking some calls, let me just make this announcement. Somebody say I blocked them. I did not block anybody. What we did, and this person called David Johnson, David G. Johnson, was insulting, even fighting with other viewership and following, and it was insulting us. Actually, I didn't care about it, but my attention was called by other viewers that he was being disrespectful, insulting, rude to them. What we did, we just restricted your ability to comment. When we did that, on SKTV LRB, what he did, he went to my personal page and joined the conversation again. But this time around, he's behaving. So don't worry about me blocking you. We're not going to block anybody. We have said that here. We can only restrict you if you behave, outside of the norm. If you are not behaving like a good human being, we will restrict you. So we're not blocking anybody. And the guy who is watching us now from my personal page, Sekou Kene, that's fine. You can be there. I think we have about just 40 people there watching. And whatever comment you make, only you and the people in that particular area can see it. Whatever, but those that are watching up from SKTV LRB, when they comment, everybody here, everybody there too will see it. But we can see all of it. Whether you comment from YouTube, you comment from Instagram, you comment from SKTV LRB, you comment from Sekou Kene, we can see everything here on the big screen. That's the thing about it. We can see everything. But what happened when you are on a bigger part of it, you abuse, your privilege there. What I did, we just, restricted your ability to comment, but not to block you. We're not blocking anybody anymore. I told my guys, don't block anybody. If anybody is not behaving right, you're not doing the right thing, you can restrict them. If they behave, if they change, you can open the privilege back to them. So we don't believe in that. And as a matter of fact, today, going into the new year, all the people that we blocked in 2023, we will unblock everybody. It's a new year, it's a new day. We're gonna unblock everybody. Yeah, even on my personal page, everybody that I blocked, I'm gonna unblock all of them. We're gonna start afresh. And if you misbehave, we'll take you for safekeeping for the whole of 2024. The whole year. You will not have the opportunity to watch us. We don't care. We just have good people watching us. We just have good people, participating, even contributing to SKTV. By the way, speaking of contribution, Brazilian mama, man, when it comes to SKTV, a lot of people want us to actually take it serious, the idea of having our own radio station. And to inform all of you, we have had a lot of people calling, promising and pledging to support SKTV, both financially and morally. And the idea of having radio station, people being actually calling, even from Liberia there, to ask what can they do to help the process. I think that is a welcoming news. But again, going into 2024, Brazilian monk, where do you see SKTV, my man? The way they attacking all the things coming SKTV, you're going to survive?
I think we're going to survive. The reason SKTV is being attacked because SKTV brings a balanced approach. We bring soundness to the discourse, even though it must sound like something antagonistic. But the truth is the truth. You see, there is no fancy way of saying the truth. But people got conscience. When you say the truth, they might not accept it, but over time they will gravitate to that truth because that's just the truth. There is no way you can sugarcoat the truth. The only way you can sugarcoat things is when you try to lie. Because lying is not the right thing. So you got to sugarcoat. But when you're saying the truth, yeah, it might sound harsh, but the reality is the truth will always be the truth. At the end of the day, people, I see how people respond. I'll follow the people religiously that watch SKTV when the show is done. Because for them, they think everything about politics. So sometimes when we're attacking a particular candidate, maybe they think that we got negative sentiment against that candidate. No, that's just the game of politics. Everything cannot be all bread and butter. Politics is a contact sport. The day my political leader fall in the crosshair, we're going to grill him as well. That's just part of the news. So you shouldn't come here and think that, oh, SKTV, they are one-sided or they hate a particular candidate. No, because at the end of the day, when you are given the right information, you make better decisions, and the country tends to benefit from sound reporting and accurate reporting. So it will be up to our people. I can see that passion, but running a radio station is like a business. They are expense. We got guys that will be on the field. We got people that will be in studio. You got people that will commit to give you quality content, and you must compensate them for the time. So our people is not only about making that pledge, it's about sticking with SKTV, making that commitment to see that we keep pushing it in further and further. That's what it is. I mean, entertainment and broadcasting is business. In America, people pay for time slot on TV, pay millions of dollars for just 30 seconds in ad. Can you imagine somebody paying $4 million for 30 seconds? I don't say 1 minute, 30-second commercial. That's how expensive information is. People can take it lightly. People believe that you can just go on Google and just Google things. But at the end of the day, we're talking about real information. It's not just about Googling things. It's about sources, people that give you the credible information, some insider job that needs to be done. So our people can come here. They can make pledges all they want. Typical example. Take for example, look at the subscription. How people are gravitating to the subscription services. You got to show that you really with SKTV to the end. I mean, from your action, we would tell, we will see the numbers, and then people can make more commitment. Because at the end of the day, you are going to benefit from SKTV reporting because it helps you, it helps the country, it helps the politics. So it's not about picking side or choosing side here. It's just the reality. And when you show that commitment, God like Cyrus, God like Golden Heart, Moses, people will take time of their busy schedule to give you quality and top-notch information. But you must show that commitment as well. You scratch your back, you scratch our back, and then we scratch your back. That's just life.
Yeah, so like you gotta help us help you. right, Brazilian Monk, you gotta help us help you. Monk, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
For
Yes,
sure.
somebody asked a question whether they should unsubscribe from SKTV and then subscribe to SKTV LRB. No. SKTV is the original and biggest platform for SKTV network. SKTV LRB is also one of the, outlets of SKTV. So while we are working on SKTV, stay there. Once you're subscribed to it, it's fine. Unless you want to subscribe to both. But that is now a requirement. Once you are subscribed to SKTV or SKTV LRB, you are fine. You're perfectly fine. You don't have to. Like the YouTube. We have YouTube also it has SKTV and then SKTV LRB or SKTV Live. The SKTV Live, that's what we call SKTV LRB. So if you are now on one, you can be on the other one, it's okay. We're just trying to make sure we expand, our reach so that people can find us anywhere they go. We could say, you know what? We don't need to have too many, platforms and this and that. Let everybody come here so we can get one big, group of people in one place so we can get a big viewership. We don't care about that. We don't want you to get the information. Like for example, on my personal page right now, you got 40 people there watching it, right? They are not part of the bigger, picture of people who are actually commenting on SKTV LRB, but they're all getting the same information. The only difference is when you are commenting there, those that are on there, that one can see you, can see your comment. When you are on SKTV LRB, everybody that watching SKTV LRB can see your comment. When you're on YouTube, those on YouTube can see your comment. But we that here on the bigger screen, we can see all of it. So it doesn't matter where you are subscribed. It's fine. So to my good friend and brother, Acosta P. Flomo, the man that nobody have seen his face, he accused us the other day that we were biased. We kind of discriminated against him because of the fact that Brazilian Monk does not show his face, and Brazilian Monk is always here, but he was stopped from coming on because he never showed his face. The difference is Brazilian Monk from time to time will come on, show face. For you, you have never ever
Yeah, at least not once.
show face, not even once. So nobody even know who you are. At least people know who Brazilian Monk is. Brazilian Monk got his actual
picture of my son.
Yeah, actual picture there.
I mean, like, I'm not new to this thing. I've been
Brazilian Monk always, from time to time show face. But you, according to our own conversation, for some reason, you don't want to be visible. You don't want to be, recognized. Reason they explain to me, I respect it. But we don't want to bring somebody on the social media in disguise. Because what happened, nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
And anything happening, everything's going to fall on us.
Yeah.
You see, so if you can own it, avail yourself once, not have a conversation. Me, I've seen you somewhere. You never call your real name. For me, I know who you are now for some reason. But if you really want to be part of a bigger platform, or you want to be, part of, normal conversation like we do here, just show face at maybe 1 or 2 times. Even Saros here in Liberia, there's sometimes we can be having conversation, can turn off your camera, right?
Yeah.
Well, exactly, we know who Saros is.
Yeah.
Really my stuff. From time to time, I will turn off my camera to do 1 or 2 things that I don't want people to see on the show. But people know exactly who is Sekou. If we ask Steve, even though Steve knows that that person is sounding like a man, but Steve says you don't even know whether they're a man or a woman. Because yeah. So Steve said, no, they can't come on. That man, the person said, he even said the man, he said the person can't come on. That person show their face. You even know that man or a woman. That person cause trouble in our trouble. So all you need to do, just show face. One time, at least one time, my brother. Yeah, I know.
And sometimes, Sekou, I'm not cutting you off, but people always like to come out. Like, I don't have problem with coming on camera. Like, some things they say men can talk, or like for the past year.
And me, I know the reason why you're not on camera all the time.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell the listening audience, my picking been going through some health challenges as well. So most of the time we need to check in and check out. So sometimes I join the show. Maybe I'm in the hospital, paying your visit, spending some time with him, and nurses coming in and out of the room. Like right now, if I was to put a camera on, you would tell them in a hospital room. You seeing it? That's me right here. This Brazilian Monk. You know my page. I'm not hiding. So that's the only reason I come on SKTV. And
this is a Brazilian Monk right here.
Right here. I'm not hiding nothing. Everybody knows me. We've been doing the thing for more than a decade on social media. Like someone coming in again. So to avoid going in and out, that's why I don't call with, but I ain't got nothing to hide. People know me. We've been on this. Look, we started social media in politics from Madame Sally's second term when it was discussion Labro versus when Fadi Garden had their, TMZ. That was the first 2 chat group, major chat groups on social media, dating back as far as 2012, if I'm not mistaken. So we've been doing the thing for long. The Mona Farhad, the Eugene Fagon, the Alan Cassett, the Tom Allen George, James Marshall. We've been going through this thing forever. At that time, there was no Facebook Live. So to express yourself, you had to write. So it was all about writing. That's when we used to. You can remember when they wanted to get rid of Governor Mill Jones.
When we used to have the that was after Facebook came and those guys opened that TMZ, they open online radio station. I even remember one time when Amara Connect came, they interviewed him in Minnesota there.
Yeah.
And but before then, we only used to have a listserv. Yahoo emailing system.
Yep.
That was before Facebook.
Yeah, before
There
Facebook.
we used to have all the political conversation. It was all about writing.
Yep.
So all the people that are running their mouth now, this and that, they just most of them are new to politics.
Yep.
Political discussion.
That's why they insult. That's why I said the reason you're insulted because now it's video, but back in the day, we nobody going to insult. If you can't come up with an idea to write something for people to gravitate to, that's why these days people say, but man, I don't write on Facebook. You think Martin Kula is writing? When we were writing pages. It was all about responding to posts and somebody attacking you, and the most you could do was to just type. It was all day. But you know what? That's the beauty of technology. Now people can just come on video and say something.
So Brazilian Mall, your man promised, Papi Flomo promised to come on and show face next week, but
that would be a great thing.
The winner condition, he doesn't want Steve to be on.
Yep.
I don't know why you and Steve get because Steve said you don't know a man or a woman.
Yep.
You don't know whether the man or a woman. Maybe I thought Steve said, but the man. Steve said, I don't know because
I don't know. I won't see that man. Well, I know Papi is a nice man. He got his own ideas and things.
The man need Augusto Flomo. How can that be a woman? And the man's voice, you can tell it's a man. But Steve said, you don't know. As far as you're concerned, you don't know whether that person is a woman or a man. So Sarah's my man. I think Sarah's line is frozen already.
Frozen.
Yeah, so one of you, yeah. Okay. I think maybe someone are calling him. Sarah, you good? Yeah, man. Okay. So before anyway, the lines are open. Anybody can call in and tell us your New Year resolution. We don't care. Call us anytime and say anything you want to say. So let me tell you something. You know, from time to time, Facebook, YouTube, and all these social media platforms, from time to time, there can be some restriction on some of them. The reason is very simple. Sometimes these systems are set in a way. Let's say when they say graphic, violent picture, or violent or graphic video, sometimes blood. We got a strike on Facebook, on YouTube the last time, simply because the same video that we play on YouTube, on Facebook, we play the same video on YouTube. It was a movie. But when somebody was shot in the movie, because there was no clear explanation, the system grabbed it as a violent act. Because somebody got shot and they fell. They kind of like, saw the blood. And once the system detects that blood of somebody, a violent act, then Facebook or YouTube or Facebook or any other media platform, that is again their policy, or in the community, policy. What do we do? They will automatically restrict you. The system can do that. Real human being, then you now, as administrator, you have to appeal, explain to them that this is not actually a violent thing. This is just a movie. Then they will go and review it. They found out that it's actually a movie. This is not anything, violent, before they can remove the restriction. So in that process, sometimes you will see our YouTube SKTV. You may not see us there. We can see us on SKTV Live or SKTV Alabi on YouTube. Similarly, for example, the last time somebody posted, one of our colleagues posted something. The guy the Sidician guy that was killed, that was beaten and killed, when that was posted on our platform, we got some strike again on both YouTube and SKTV on Facebook. So some of these things can happen. They can be temporarily, but it can be, forever. So if you look for us on YouTube, you not see on SKTV, find SKTV Live. It's easy. my picture is on it. So from time to time, we'll be on here, we'll be on there, but we try to expand our reach so that you can't just miss us. If you can't find anywhere, come to my personal Facebook page, Sekou Kenneth, you will see us there. You'll see us on SKTV LRB. You'll see on SKTV YouTube, on Instagram. So everywhere you look, you're looking for us, you'll find us. We are doing that not to worry about having everybody in one place watching us simply because we want to get a number. No, our objective, our MO, is to get the message across. Right, Brazilian Mon? Isn't that what we said?
Why it is, for sure.
The message got out there. We don't care how you get it, but as long as you get the message,
yeah,
what to us.
You will process it later. Just say the truth.
Okay, so let's take a call here. Caller, what is your name and where you calling from?
My name is Augusta Steve Flumer. How you doing, man?
Are you a male or woman? Are you a man or a woman, my man? Tell me.
Are you a female or a he-male?
Are you a female or he-male? Are you a he or you are a he-she?
Yeah.
Why he breaking up? You getting him, class, Sekou?
You don't know about it. So I'm a male. He, him.
Okay, so you're not he-she.
He, him, his. But let me say, you guys far. We started this platform from the beginning.
Yep.
You know, even though we're on the opposing side with Sekou, you know, those early days when Sekou kicked out and kept our time against me for Sierra Leone, but we all broke bread together and we're all now, you know, we are in harmony. So that's a good thing, you know. When I was kicked on the platform because I was giving them tough time, because I was not showing my face, but it's okay, it's okay. But I didn't want to tell Sekou that there's a void right now. I was even telling Benjamin Jonah and Kev, I said there's a void right now. And I think Sekou should fill that void very fast. Like you guys were saying, we all can hang here together, support Sekou platform, you know, to get information. Because some of these things, you have to get in the belly of the beast to grab information. You know, there's a void left by Henry Costa, and that voice has not been what? It's a failure. It's Sekou, because Prince Johnson has elevated him. It's like SKTV is trying to fill that void. So I want you guys to push harder. We join you guys. This country has to be, you know, directed in the right direction. And hey, if I said it to you know, ruffle some feathers, it was just a joke, you know. Sekou didn't do anything to me. It was just Moses, who I have, you know, some issues with because he was actually pressing Sekou.
Because the man want you to see your, the man want to see your face. The man want you to be a real human being. You want to know whether you're a woman or a man. No problem, man. Anytime, man. Anytime. You're part of this platform. You've been here from the beginning on the cell phone. You know, when we used to go on the cell phone, you used to call and stay to do the same thing. You know, you never show your face. Yeah, but you've been around.
Sekou, you're trying to fill that void. There is a void right now. Why you let him start hitting? Then Costa left, there is that void. And you still can fill that void. If we, you know, help him, like you said, help him, help us. You know, Sekou should fill that void. Especially when we have government official. President wants to, like Prince Johnson, you know, trying to, you know, raise SKTV to that, you know, prominence and trying to, how you call it, like a premier will say, by mistake, you know, putting SKTV on our pedestal. So you got to fill that void, Sekou. So we will help you, help us.
I'm not, and to thank you for the pledge to help, but trust me, SKTV, we are our own brand. And I don't know whether there's any void that we need to fill in. We will remain who we are. We will do our best. But trust me, we are not filling any void for anybody. We just SKTV.
I understand that. So, yeah,
I do understand it, but what I'm telling you, Prince Johnson is not elevating SKTV. Prince Johnson is acting out of fear. Prince Johnson knows what SKTV is capable of. He's trying to be preemptive, trying to somehow scare us, threaten us, bully out of submission so we can expose them. You know, Prince Johnson is a de facto spokesperson for this government, the incoming government. And in his press conference the other day, he said, you know, I'm a third spokesperson for this for the rescue team. He said that I'm number 3 man.
Yes.
So what does that mean? So that means Joseph Boakai, Jeremiah Kun, and Prince Johnson.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've never heard any outrage or resentment from the United Party people for that.
That's true.
Did you see anybody? Did you hear anybody say no? That's not true. Or Prince Johnson, you have said that.
No.
Prince Johnson said he's the 3rd man in Joseph Boakai, in the rescue team.
He's not number 3. I think number 3 is the Speaker of the House, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You see it? But still, let me end here. Let me just end here real quick. Tell them what you can be another person.
Right.
Natana Magiro was sanctioned. Black Crown was sanctioned. Serenus was sanctioned. And I think the American government said if anybody who made business with those guys might also be sanctioned or they are susceptible to sanction. So by extension, can we say, and those guys, those 3 guys that are new, Natana Magiro and those 2 guys, they're not being sent to court. And they are not being found guilty yet. When they are just allegation, right? So they say if you make business with them, you are susceptible to sanction, right? Then my question is, maybe you guys can help me here because you guys do this thing more than some of us. So if that is the issue, that anybody who makes business with this guy, they are susceptible to sanction, and it might be sanctioned. Then how about a convicted criminal like Stephen Witherspoon, who is going to jail next month, and Joe Boakai is making business with him to the extent that Joe Boakai never disputed what Stanton said, I gave this man $3,000 to be fraudulent money to take care of himself every month. And for Joe Boakai to prove it, when he came to America, the first person he met was Stanton Witherspoon. So should Joe Boakai also be sanctioned? Maybe you can help me over there. Thanks for having me, and God bless you, my brother.
Thank you so much. Brazilian might want to respond to that.
Yeah, I think Papi Slomo was spot on. But you know, I don't like to participate in things that relate to geopolitics because for me, Liberia is more paramount than the war at large. I'm not saying that in the negative. I'm just saying in terms of focus, in terms of information, in terms of things that will benefit the country. Because the same people that will be calling for sanctions to bring people to justice, they too often play a double standard. And he said it right. If you're going to do business with a man who was convicted or convicted criminal going to jail, then how do you make the case for morality and fairness and justice? It's just done. But like I tell people all the time on the platform, the power players, the globally, the people that run the show worldwide, they can pick and choose who they feel like, who they want. I tell people, I said Charles Taylor was a rebel leader. Paul Kagame was a rebel leader. But Paul Kagame is seen as a hero all over the world. He engaged in speaking endorsement everywhere on the planet. All the universities want him coming to their program, and Charles Taylor is sitting behind bar. But who am I to question the players or the people that determine who should be convicted of war crime and people that should be allowed to work scot-free? That's just the nature of the game. And it's the truth. But sometimes the truth is not about the truth when it comes to the people who run the show. It's all about picking and choosing in their own interests. Because if you want to apply that same standard, then Joseph Boakai would be as guilty as anyone in Liberia for the fact that he does business with Stanton Witherspoon. He did it openly, right in America, to not even outside the country to say, well, it was just a phone conversation or some exchange. No.
So, Bob, do you think America is actually aware or paying attention to that? If they do you think it might come back to haunt him later?
Oh, who knows? It could be. The people who run the show, they can choose the time to strike. They know when and where to strike. Who knows? You know, you cannot just come out and something just blow everything up. He just got elected. You got to let him to take power. The people voted. America all respect people's democracy. You know that one of the things. Liberian people always fear Americans just come and just take a president and say, no, when that president was voted upon, there are rules, there are regulations. Just because they are superpower, they cannot just come in and just uproot a president. No, they don't just discard people like that. But they got a time. They got their own way of striking. Now you see, when people used to get away with sanctions saying, oh, it was just traveling restriction. Now they came up with a law after decades telling you now that when we put you on sanction, it's not only about traveling restriction. We are coming after you, we want to prosecute and, if possible, jail you. So things change over time. You just have to wait and see how it plays out, because Those are international standard different from domestic standard. The way we do business in Liberia, that's not how they operate. We have our own interests, and the power brokers have their own interests. That's just how it is on the global scale.
So, were you concerned about the fact that when doing Joseph Boakai's interview on VOA, he did not talk about war crime, but he did talk about audit. He did not talk about sanction, people that have been sanctioned. You think that was done deliberately, or Joseph Boakai just forgot to mention that because of political reason he just decided to, to pass on that instead of talking about it? Because there were things that he talked about that he was not asked.
Mhm.
He just let it out.
Yeah.
So you think it was done deliberately to skip that part and talk about things or area that he's comfortable with?
Joseph Boakai is a consummate politician. You understand the nature of politics. He knows the difference between war crimes and he knows the difference between an audit. An audit more of a process, or war crime is indicting people, and he knows the kind of alliance he found himself in. So he was tiptoes and he was cherry picking, but he knows it's too early. Even if Joseph Boakai is going to flip on people that support him, it's too early to make that move. So he was cherry picking. I don't want to talk about accountability. We would talk about an audit, but he would not talk about war crime because he knows what's up. So it was not a mistake. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's a smart old man. He knows what he's doing. He been in the game for long. He been around the block. So technically, when it comes to you see, one thing about Joseph Boakai, if you interview Joseph Boakai, he's a man who's very calculative in using words. That's why he doesn't talk that much. He listens a lot and he speaks fewer words. So for
he's very selective,
he's very selective in his words. So if you really pay attention to Omen Boakai when you interview him, before he even respond, he would take that little break. He will kind of assess. So for you to play that kind of a journalistic trick on him to force him to spell out something, no, you will not get that. He's so smart in doing that. He chooses word wisely, and he's a man of limited words. He pay attention a lot, he listens, but he doesn't talk that much. So he knows exactly what he was doing. He won't talk about war crimes. He won't talk about international travel ban, but he will talk about accountability. He will talk about transparency and all that stuff. So technically, he knew exactly what he was doing.
All right, let's take this caller here. Caller 704 number, last 4 digit 1843. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, how you doing? My name is Brian Corey, and I'm calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Brian Corey, you said?
Yeah, Corey from Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say Happy New Year to each and every one of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the show and the work you're doing. My concern is drawn to what happened on air a few days ago with respect to SKTV being taken off air in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
You was going to call Musa Ability to find out as to whether he's in approval of SKTV not being on air in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just asking to not keep us in suspense, because what is happening right now, or what they are starting, especially talking about Brent Johnson and O'Neill taking you off air. This is something that is a no-no for the Unity Party government, because no matter what happened, George Weah was insulted many days. All other political leaders, everybody has something to say. Why is it that, Truth FM is going to censor SKTV because they are talking something and mentioning a public servant name? So I would just like for you to let the audience know as to whether you have spoken to Musa Ability and what is his position. Secondly, we're talking about the Happy SKTV as supporter of SKTV. If they're going to be feasible with the way they already started censoring SKTV to give SKTV, chance of what you call it, to be able to open a radio station. If they can censor you off air, even if we had the money to help SKTV get, a radio station, would they be willing, the government, would they be willing to even give SKTV, they go ahead to have a radio station. I would like for you guys to address that. Again, I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody, all SKTV listeners. And we are here to support SKTV, even though some of us don't call all the time. But we want to see SKTV survive going, forward and being one of the best. So I just want to say thank you. You guys keep up the good work.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And I will address your concern. Maybe you want to listen to it off the phone, or you want to stay on the phone for me to respond to it. I can do either or. It don't matter.
I'm gonna watch the show to get somebody. I want to hold in line. So
yeah. Okay. That's good. Let's do that.
All right.
Thank you so much. So with respect to the question whether or not we contacted Musa Belete about what happened, yes, we did. We immediately contacted Musa Belete when it happened, and I have a text communication between him and I, and Musa Belete expressed shock. He said it's not possible. He said, why? He said it's not possible. I said, well, it happened. He said he expressed some statement I'm not going to say here, but he sounded like, not happy about the decision. However, he said, but I'm in Nimba. Since then, I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard from O'Neill. But the guys working there, communicating and being available for us to be on air regularly. But because of what happened and how it happened, we at SKTV, we are still processing what is going on. Like we said the other day here, should we continue to be on Truth FM? We're going to have some conversation so that to avoid the recurrence of what happened. We don't want it to happen again. Should we go back and start airing on on Truth FM? But either way, we recognize the fact that Truth FM being very helpful, being very cooperative with SKTV for years now. So we don't want to discount their contribution to SKTV. There will always be people, there will always be some bad apples. Or sometimes it may not even be bad apples, but there are always certain people who do certain things at certain time that may not come across right to a lot of people, but that may not be a reflective of the entire institution. So these things, we have to treat it, with so much, delicacy. You got to make sure that we pay attention to detail. We understand exactly what's going on and what we can do moving forward. However, whatever be the case, the best we can do for ourselves is to have our own radio station. And the reason is pretty simple. Sometimes we stay on the show here 3 hours, or sometimes more than 3 hours. We only have 2 hours on the radio. So that means Liberians listening to us on the radio are somehow disenfranchised when they can only listen to us, when they can only listen to us, not the whole show, but you can only listen to a part of the show. When they want to listen to the show holistically, but yet they don't have that opportunity on the radio. And there's no way we're going to have, unlimited time on the radio station. They have different programs. They have different schedules. So, beside politics, they have their own schedule, they have their own timing, they have their own plan and the way they operate. So, it is the best thing for us to do in the interest of SKTV and our listening audience, whether radio station, social media, or anywhere, for us to have our own thing. That's one. Secondly, even if we decide to go pathway with Truth FM, we want it to be on a good note. We're not enemy. And we don't want to be a group of ungrateful people. We recognize the support that we have enjoyed from Truth FM. You remember? Other people stab us. People that we help. Like Dara Dillon, for example, when Yombly suggested that SKTV be aired on D15 after her husband's death, and told us that Dillon got everything. Get with Dillon, make sure you guys are on the radio. Dillon, stop it. And Truth FM allow us to be on. So, in as much as we are not happy about the way things happen, but we don't want to come across as a bunch of ingrates, that don't recognize people, that don't recognize the past. Even you will not like us for that. And if we kind of like be somehow ungrateful to Truth FM, you don't expect us to be grateful to you, even if you help SKTV today to excel. So we want to treat this thing with so much care so that we can come across as a bunch of angry, ungrateful people that recognize good things. We recognize and appreciate everything that we have enjoyed with Truth FM. We hope to continue. But either way, we're still going to need our own radio station. And the time is now. So to answer your question, yes, we talked to Musa Bility, but it was now, phone conversation was a text message. He has never called back. I've never heard from the guy, but Melbourne always been available for us to send a link and be on the show. But our fear is that we don't want what happened to happen again. So if we're going to go back and start doing what we were doing for the past years, let's have a conversation so that whatever happened will not happen again. While we there, we can still work on getting our own radio station. But we'd rather not be on there if we're going to be treated the way we were treated in few instances by O'Neill. Not one time, not two times. So, Brazilian, maybe you want to add?
Yeah, I want to add something that, and you struck it dead on. You see, Sekou, media business is no small thing. Media, that's what they call in the fourth estate. They are a very powerful institution in society. and the way you disseminate information, it have a major impact on how people govern their life. You see, even if Truth FM was to reverse their decision moving forward, it would still be in the best interest of SKTV to be independent when it comes to the whole thing about the radio station. The reason I'm saying this, if the guy who claimed to be the chairman in command cannot be criticized, then most definitely the guy who will be running the show will not want to be criticized. And here is the tricky part about it. For Joseph Boakai age and experience in government, I don't want to believe that he will even support the idea of muscle in the press. He will not. But bureaucracy is very complicated. There will be people within the chain of command that won't take criticism. So even if Joseph Boakai is in favor of press freedom, there will be people. And look, when you run a government, right? Government is transactional. There are things that happen. There are times you will have to compromise on your own principle just to get something in return. I want to tell people in politics, government is not the same as where in corporate. Corporate is about if Sekou can get a job done, we give him the position, we will pay him the money because he can get a job done. In government, it's all about negotiation. So there will be time that certain information will come up in this incoming administration that people will not like to be out there. And SKTV will be forced to put those information out. And I will tell you, Joseph Boakai will never, ever support press freedom. But there will be tons of people in Joseph Boakai administration that won't accept criticism to a certain extent. So moving forward, in the best interest of SKTV and the listening, or now I keep telling folks, it's up to you, the listening audience. We could take this thing as far as you want it to go. The moment you can stand with SKTV and support SKTV, we will want to get this thing going. So it's up to you. Because I know there will be days, there will be weeks, there will be months that things will be going by in the Boakai-led administration, and there will be people that won't want that to be exposed out there. So just get ready for the worst. I mean, you know, when you criticize a leader, people think that because you want to be in opposition, it's not only about being in opposition. The reason you criticize leader and you push them to the limit so that they can give you results, that's just why it is. Because when you always agree, then there is no incentive for the men to give you the result that you want because you already agree. And I said it, there will be times, weeks, months, days, that information, whether it's about war crimes code, whether it's about accountability, whether it's about people within the Boakai administration stealing from government coffers, there will be some information that do you know in America sometimes the government can protect information? In as much as take that America, the democracy, there are terms that FBI, CIA, sometimes they can cover up some information because they know it's not the right thing to do, but when you get out there, the public sentiment might not seem right. They do it sometimes. So there will be days that people in the Boakai-led administration, they will be intolerant. They will not want for information to be out there, and SKTV will not settle for that. So in the best interest of everyone, it will be better for SKTV to start putting in place things to make up more independent. So we are not at the mercy of some disgruntled element within the Boakai administration to experience the same thing we experience with Truth FM. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you, my man. Thank you, Monk, as always. So again, so we are going to be, we're still working on the issue. We still discuss having some conversation. So even yesterday, one of the colleagues and I talked about discuss it, and that person was leaning towards, saying that, whatever the case is, let's just be on the radio there until we can get our own. It's important. Liberian people need us. If Liberian people need us, let it just help us. If they really need us to be on the radio, let it help us contribute. And don't get me wrong. People have already started pledging support. In fact, somebody yesterday wrote and said, Brother Sekou, we are here. Because that person didn't watch the show when it happened, but they watched the replay. And the person said, we are here to help. And they pledged to donate a certain amount whenever we start the fundraiser for the radio station project. And with the concern whether or not we will be allowed to have station in Liberia, radio station in Liberia, I think we will be allowed. Whether from time to time they will attempt to silence us, they will. But I can tell you, SKTV is here to stay. And regardless of how they attempt to stop us, believe me, we are here to stay. As long as we Liberian people are with us, we will do anything we can and everything to make sure we keep you informed. Whether or not we're on the radio, we started this thing here, we were not on any radio, we're on Facebook. Now we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. We have huge following. We have people that can wait for the time for SKTV to come on. If we don't come on, you don't know the amount of calls we can get asking what happened. Why are you guys not on? What happened to SKTV? Even for the short time that SKTV original page we never been using it, people are concerned. But yet we are here. So yes, we believe we'll be allowed. And we've been working behind the scene to make sure we do what is right. You know, I will not say more than that. But yes, I believe we'll be allowed. And we're going to play our part. Do what is right and do it as soon as possible so that we can have any blockade or anybody can just limit our resources. But yes, indeed, we will do our best. We'll continue to inform you. And with God, everything is possible. So, indeed, we will keep you informed. We said we wanted to start the process. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have some meeting. We're going to have some conversation. How to go about it. We plan to form a team. And this time around, the fundraiser for the radio project, I'm going to be a part of it. I'm not going to be the one receiving the money. Either we have direct account for SKTV or somebody from outside lead the process for us to, you know, have the money that we need to carry on the project. So this is not just going to be like, you know, secret project or somebody trying to do something. No. We're going to be as transparent as possible. We're going to have other people involved. And people are willing. That's a good thing about it. People are willing. Some are willing not to be, you know, named publicly. Some are willing to contribute, you know, behind the scene without we calling their name to the public. But we want to make sure the money are put together in one place and they are used for the intended purpose, which is to have a radio station in Liberia. So if you want to volunteer to be a part of the process, I'm not talking about fake people who wants to come in just to get all the, you know, intel to know exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it for the purpose of trying to take us down. But people that we know that have been there for us, for SKTV, that have been doing everything to make sure we grow. If you're interested in being part of the team to help us raise the fund, please let us know. You can inbox me, you can inbox SKTV. We can start a conversation so you can be a part of that process. We're looking for trusted people. We're looking for influential people. We're looking for people with resources to help us. Some of these things, sometimes we're not even going to need cash from some people. Some it's going to be income donation. Some of them are going to be equipment. If you have money to give, or we'll take it. You have equipment to provide, or we'll take it. You have something in Liberia to give to us, we'll take it. Anything for that matter. That's why it can't just be me and me alone. We are going to open the door for everybody to be a part of it. If you really want to help SKTV to move forward, to grow, you want to volunteer to be part of the team to raise funds, you want to contribute, feel free to reach us. There are a lot of good things actually in the pipelines, but we'll bring it to you when it happens. We'll keep you posted. We'll make sure we keep you informed on everything, all the happenings, and we'll be transparent about the process. You will be proud of yourself to say, yes, we did it. Of course, we're going to do it. So, Brazilian Mama, man, I think we got to go now, unless you have something else to say. You can.
Well, you said it all, nothing much to say, and Happy New Year to. It all depends which part of the world, because the people in Australia are celebrating, the people in Asia are celebrating their New Year already. So it's we in America and Africa. Well, that's it. We look to a prosperous New Year for SKTV. We look to it. We brace ourselves for a big explosion, because at the end of the day, you will need SKTV, and you will want, even people that support Joseph Boakai at a certain time, they will want, when the honeymoon period is over, they will want the truth, they will want accountability, because they expect Joseph Boakai to do something better than what George we are. And how do you expect Boakai to do something better if you can't hold you accountable? So at the end of the day, you guys will still gravitate to SKTV. That's why the guy said there is a vacuum that needs to be filled. We're not going to say that, but we know there is a vacuum to be filled. So, and SKTV will live up to that challenge, provided you can stand with SKTV and support us financially and morally, in any kind of way you think you can support. Some of you guys can come and volunteer. Sometimes send Sekou a message, come on the show, give your idea. You see, the thing about media is a two-way communication. People that come here don't know everything, and you yourself, you come here to get something too. And the media can feed off of public sentiment as well. Based on how you react and the way you see things, it can shift the way how they give you information. So we feed off of each other. Come on the show, come with an open mind, and be willing to accept the truth, no matter how people say it, because at the end of the day, you want a better Liberia. And we look forward to a prosperous and explosive New Year. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody. We appreciate your time. And we'll be here. We will be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is a new year.
Yep.
I think, I'm not sure, but if possible, maybe we'll be on tonight to celebrate the new year. Maybe, if not, we'll do.
Who knows? Maybe tonight we'll celebrate ushering the new year, because people will be up in Liberia early morning, you know.
Yeah. So if not, then we'll be there tomorrow. But yes, indeed, all of you, whether you support us or you're against us, the fact that you are here, we take that as a support. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. You know, I saw somebody saying that, oh, you know, we will not support you, will not contribute, but you are here. Because you used to free ride, because you love free things. That's okay. People who will support us. People who will not support, but they enjoy being here every day, just be quiet and enjoy yourself and go. Get the information and learn and go. You don't have to say anything. That is the hallmark of an Ingrid. You are here enjoying privilege, but you want other people to pay for it. So you say you're not doing it, but you are enjoying it. I mean, what is that? But I know down the line, most of you, even you express anger about SKTV, but you still love SKTV. That's why you're here every day. And I know it benefits you to be here and learn and get some information. But I want to thank you, everybody. Thank you all. Again, I'm so much grateful. I'm so much grateful to all of you that have been contributing to SKTV. Behind the scene, public, sharing the show, encouraging people to subscribe, sharing our platform to new people, recommending SKTV to people, telling them, hey, go watch this show. I think they are good. A lot of people have been doing that. I've been getting some information from new people every day. Oh yeah, one of my friends, recommended you. Oh yeah, my sister sent a link to me. Yeah, my brother just told me about you. Oh, I just discovered you guys doing the election. But since I came back, I don't want to go back to anywhere with the SKTV. That's what my Umar and call me all the time from Atlanta, Georgia. Some from North Carolina. Even yesterday, one of them called me from North Carolina. Umar says, "Sekou been looking for the show. What happened? You only come on today?" We got tons of people like that. They will always call us to check. Just because they don't see SKTV on, they want to make sure what's going on. They want to make sure we are okay. So whether we have a handful of ingrates here and there that will come and make their, funny comments and go, we are fine with it. The vast majority of our people, they love SKTV and they support SKTV. And they are promising that they will do everything to make sure we get to where we want to be. Thank you all. We love you and Happy New Year to all of you. If you don't see me tonight, we'll see you tomorrow. Inshallah. Yeah, good night.